like to learn more about it, hit me up after the show. Chapter 19. The great strength of our order lies in its concealment. Let it never appear in any place in its own name, but always covered by another name and another occupation. None is fitter than the 3 lower degrees of Freemasonry. The public is accustomed to it, expects little from it, and therefore takes little notice of it. June 12, 2012. Athlone Island, St. Judas Cathedral, Memorial Gardens, 12:12 a.m. A warm rain had started. It came down in thick sheets, thunder lazily grumbling in the distance. The shadowed figure didn't carry an umbrella. She didn't mind the rain. Kayla preferred thunderstorms. For 55 years now, she had lived a lie. Perfectly. She had situated herself into the family better than they expected of her. As Marcelo Terenzio's youngest daughter, she was a board member. She ran the subsidiary Empire Cruise Line. Athlone was an island after all, uniquely positioned between 2 major countries. They didn't always smuggle things by air. That meant she was privy to a great deal. Since she was 13 years old, Kayla had been feeding the Brotherhood everything she knew about the Terenzios. 16 hours ago, she had learned that stepfather played the game better than she had. 16 hours ago, she had learned that from the first day she took his doorstep, he had known truth. The rain washed away the line of her tears that fell in silence as she stared down at the freshly dug earth next to where her mother was buried. Marilyn Terenzio had been the first person Kayla had learned to love. It had happened unintentionally. They had tried to train her against it. But the things endured by a 5-year-old would not always completely wash away with the mind-altering drugs. She remembered the videos. The man with the funny smell that taught her how to hide how much she disliked it when people touched her. She frequently suffered from nightmares. It was not until she'd come to this island that she understood what it was really like to be embraced by the unconditionally loving, reassuring warmth of a mother. It did not ever stop after a while. Kayla knew that my mother had been killed, so she didn't forget the plan who she belonged to, who would take care of her after all the Terenzios were dead. Caesar had appeared shortly thereafter. She had thought he was as good as the rest of the Brotherhood when she brought him home one weekend from college, and her stepmother accepted him with open arms. Now she knew. Now she knew that stepfather had played the game better than she'd given him credit for. Maybe she should have realized that years ago. She'd been sent here to kill him, taught that from day one. Initially, she hadn't formed a connection to him, not like she had with her mother. It wasn't hard to keep the distance. He wasn't around much. She was 17 when her mother died and nightmares came back. She fully expected to wake from the next to nothing but darkness and the cruel, lingering visions of the past. Instead, he had been there. Her screams were soothed by his strong, quiet voice, and she was amazed at how easy it was to burrow into his chest, hiding from the truth. She let herself lead the line in those moments, because his arms were warm and strong, and she'd never felt protected before. He was around more after that. When she finished college, he began inviting her more frequently to his office on the 52nd floor. The Brotherhood had loved her. Secretly, so had she. To this day, Marcelo had been the only man who could touch her without making her skin crawl. Even her gentle half-brother Demetrius had made her inwardly flinch when he put a hand on her. Kayla didn't understand Marcelo Terenzio. He had known she was not his, that she was an enemy, the bastard child of his raped wife. But he looked at her like he loved her anyway. She knew this for certain. He looked at Demetrius and pictures of Amanda the same way. Why? Why would you ask me? Kayla whispered the unanswered question into the rain that crashed down around her. The letter Marcelo had written her was crumpled up in her closed fist, a father's last request of her dying daughter. Except she was not his daughter. Never mind that she loved him like her father loved her. She never admitted that to him. She didn't know if she ever would have. She had never been given the order to kill him. He hadn't questioned why. But yesterday Caesar had called to tell her that he would be coming back to the island soon. She knew why. Orders were coming. They were worried about the success of the ascension. Frankly, she was surprised they hadn't killed the Terenzio sooner if they were that concerned. Regardless, someone was going to die, and she would be the one pulling the trigger. The cruel beauty of it was that even if she didn't want to, they could make her. It only took a single phrase. Caesar was usually the one to activate her. Kayla bent down to set the single red rose on top of the freshly done wet curve. Her head bowed, her dark blonde hair soaked from coming loose from the pins that held it in place. She closed her eyes, fighting a losing battle against the emotion she didn't want to feel. She would distant from the devil. Choices weren't given to things that were wrong. I'm sorry, Dad, Kayla whispered. Her cell phone rang. She knew it was Caesar. She flipped it open. Yes? Get ready to win the world with your family, baby. I'm on my way home. Kayla was not a Terenzia. She was a child of the project, loyal only to the brotherhood. I understand. Her face hardened and her fingers opened. Marcelo's crumpled letter fluttering in blood as she walked away.